on, ready? What is this?
Gee, I don't know.
It's an immersion blender.
Oh, that's right. It's an immersion blender.
Yeah, we're using immersion blenders. We have Tinky Weisblat here, the diva of deliciousness. She has an asparagus soup recipe, and she wants to show us why it's fun to use an immersion blender.
And also useful, and I'll explain that to start with, because you can blend a soup, as you probably know, in a regular blender.
Yes.
But what you have to do then is cool the soup off and puree it in very small batches, because otherwise, I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but I have. You put it in the blender, you turn the blender on, and there's this explosion of hot stuff all over your kitchen.
Yeah, I've had that experience,
You've had that
on the show.
On the show.
Yes.
Okay.
You only cook on the show, Danny.
That's right.
That's why I couldn't figure out what you were doing when you were like,
It could be a toothbrush, but no.
So because it is asparagus season, we are making a cream of asparagus soup. And I have here, and you can see probably that my onions and garlic are not in tiny pieces because we are going to blend it all. So
that's nice.
Those have been sauteing in a little bit of butter and olive oil. And then I'm going to put in, this is a trick, by the way, I don't know if you care, but have you ever had that experience where potatoes go brown?
Yes.
You cut them in advance. So I cut them in advance and then I placed them in water.
Ah.
And then I can take them out of the water using my hand here as a, we could use a colander, but my fingers are like a colander.
That's not Tinky style.
No, too much equipment.
Got to have Tinky love in there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why she's trying to get some
extra. The potatoes are optional if you want to do low carb. They do make the soup a little heartier. Otherwise, it's a thinner soup. I mean, it's still delicious. It's kind of French not to have the potatoes, but we're doing the potatoes. And of course,
asparagus.
Our fresh local asparagus.
Now,
are there many soups you see asparagus in, or is this one of the few that proud?
I think you could probably do all sorts of things with it. The problem is, we have asparagus for such a short period of time. I tend to just boil it or grill it or steam it and just eat it.
Because it's just that good on its own.
Yeah, I don't make a lot of things with it, which is really bad because I'm supposed to be creating new recipes all the time. But so I think the reason you don't see it in soup too often is that people just want to eat it.
Yeah.
It's too good?
It's too good.
It's like, it's too good for the band. It's like Sting. Yeah.
So what we do is we just toss this here so that the asparagus and potatoes get a little bit of that oil and what was that, butter.
Yes.
We put in a little bit of salt. I think the pepper's coming later. And we put in, I'm using chicken broth, but you could certainly use vegetable broth.
Okay.
To keep it vegetarian?
Yeah, because a lot of people are vegetarians. Then we let that boil. We're going to bring it to a boil, but we're not. And then we're going to cover it.
TV magic.
And then we're going to cook it till it's done.
And
so you know when it's done when you stick a fork in the vegetables and they're kind of soft. Because they will be hard to blend if they're very hard. Then we take out our trusty. Now, many people have a stronger immersion blender than I do. I have an old hand-me-down immersion blender, so it takes longer. But we'll just pretend that we may have to pretend that it's done.
I'm so scared of the blast radius.
Okay, let me tell you the main trick with an immersion blender. Whereas if we were doing this soup later, we would actually put it in a taller thing. The trick is the word immersion.
Got to immerse it.
It has to be below the surface.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Everyone's prepared. Here we go.
When it's below the surface, you guys can do this. See?
That's calm.
But the trick is you don't want it at the very bottom. So it's this balancing act.
So you're not turning it on until it's submerged?
No, because otherwise you're going to. Do you want to? We'll have a mess.
Would that be bad?
It would splatter.
Oh, would you be mad if it splattered?
I don't care. I'm washable.
Maybe your hat
clothes are probably worth more than mine. I'm wearing like a plain old T-shirt, you know.
But you have your rhubarb apron.
My rhubarb apron is. That aprons are washable.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to do that for a little while.
Now, are you looking to puree the whole thing or leave some chunks in there too?
The problem is with the asparagus, you tend to have very large chunks. So we're just going to stand here and chat while it does it. If you have a stronger immersion blender, and I recommend that you buy one, I'm just too cheap when I already have one to buy another one. Then, but it's coming, so let's pretend it's done.
It looks.
You add a little bit now because we have the potatoes. We don't have to add a lot of cream. So I'm going to put in some cream and see how it looks.
I like the thickness that the potato gives it.
The potato it makes it a heartier soup. So if you wanted to have it for your supper, you know, you would feel a little more.
With a nice loaf of bread.
Yeah,
Yes.
like
And
a
perhaps a nice
sourdough.
salad. Oh, sourdough bread or a baguette. I'm a baguette girl,
You're
but
a
you can get a
baguette.
sourdough baguette.
Oh, I would love that.
Now,
Yes.
Tinky, how are you going to finish this off? Because I see dill there.
There is dill. I think I said in the recipe online, so don't quote me. I think I said chives. But when I looked
Either.
outside,
I
as
trusted
I was
you.
leaving my house this morning, it was raining, and I thought, I'm not getting chives when I already have dill in the house. So, and you could actually put dill or chives in the soup, but my thought is that they're going to be overwhelming the asparagus, which is a rather delicate flavor. So I forgot to bring a ladle, so I'm going to
That's okay.
carefully pour.
Yeah.
We're just
You
out of
can see
time
there-
anyway. Looks
That's
very
perfect.
beautiful.
Well, it would be prettier if it didn't have goop on the sides. And then we put a little dill
Yeah.
on top.
Oh,
Dill
nice.
or chive. Looks beautiful, Tinky.
Whatever you want,
Got a
something
sourdough
pretty,
baguette.
parsley, hay, tarragon, I don't care.
You've got it. Tinky, we're going to be checking back in the kitchen with you later, so we look forward to that. We're
Maybe-
going
Why
to
don't you hold up one of what we're going to be doing later?
We're
Yeah.
making these peanut butter cookies.
Everyone loves them.